Hey guys, welcome to this demo. Today we're going to be doing a basic introduction to web design, and the online or the web-based application that we will use is called WIX, so W-I-X. So you could just go to www.wix.com and hit enter. That should load up WIX's like general page, and it's going to probably prompt you to actually sign in. So like right now I'm logged in. So if I log out, let's just go through the whole process. So you should probably pop up to this page right here, and then I'm gonna hit get started. I'll continue with Google. That way it's just gonna reference my actual email, use that as my credentials to get me into it. And then you'll be prompted with just like this very basic beginning. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a new site. So I'm going to go ahead and click that button right there. A lot of this is fairly self-explanatory. Apparently they have some like new AI process with which you can set up your file. So I'm going to set it up without, just so we can actually go through all the clicking. I have the most control that way. What type of website do you want to create? In this case, we're going to go for our portfolio. The portfolio will be for our digital art. So we'll do digital media. Let's do digital art portfolio. That way it's actually like static images. We're not creating videos here. So let's go ahead and hit continue. Preparing your dashboard. So the dashboard is basically where you can control all of the websites. You can make multiple websites within WIX and manage all the separate domains. Within there, domains are kind of like the actual name. So like for myself, I've got my own website, and like if I had an example, it would be like www.mrfalk.com. That could be a website that I could have. So let's see here. What would you like to call your website? This will be used to customize your online experience. We can always change this, but let's just call it digital art. Digital art. I'm going to hit continue. Then it'll ask you like which kind of apps do you want to have put into it. So they've got a little portfolio app, and they've also got an Instagram feed, which is kind of cool. If you're a visual artist and you take photographs of a lot of your work, that could be a nice way to actually create constant input into your website through Instagram. So I'm going to hit continue. Those seem to be pretty good to me. Choose how you want to continue. Set up your site, manage your apps, businesses, tools, analytics, site settings, and more. So we can go to our dashboard. And so this is where like you could actually like find a website name and you could create it yourself. In this case though, I'm just gonna get rid of that just because I don't want to actually I don't want to buy a domain site or a domain name. And so the big like weird domain name that you see up at the top, it is what WIX will provide as a free domain name. So I'm just going to go straight ahead to design site right here. So I'll hit design site. Again, they're going to ask you, do you want to use AI? I'm going to say no. I'm going to pick a template. And what's kind of powerful about WIX is that they have a bunch of like pre-designed templates. So graphic designers have put these things together. You can just go through and sample a bunch of different versions or templates and then just use them. So I'm going to go, I don't know, this one's kind of interesting. I like the little accordion fold image there. So I'm just going to look at this one and hit edit. And that'll actually prompt it to then launch the web-based application within WIX. And now we can actually start messing with this, this design. Adding WIX portfolio, preparing your layout. Enhance your AI content and get personalized content across your entire site quickly by updating your info with more details. Add some details about your site. So like this site showcases many of the creative projects conducted at Santa Paula high school in the computer art courses. Type site, digital portfolio, sure. Name of site, digital art, sounds great. And then I'm just going to hit generate site. By putting some type in there, it's just going to populate your site with a little bit of verbiage, which is helpful to just make it a little bit more content rich. So creating text for your site. There's really no like correct way to go about this. You can kind of like start wherever you want and start designing. So Santa Paula High School, here's an actual example of like what things are looking like. And so you'll notice like when you actually click on things, there's going to be a number of different options that'll just like pop up. It's like, how do you want to like modify it? You're going to notice over on the side, you can add elements, you can add a section, you can get into your pages and menu, you could go into like color, you can add applications, you can make it into like a business website. You can get video, so like from, if you wanted to link like a YouTube channel, you can do that. And so there's a bunch of different buttons that you're going to see that are just available right away. Also within, you can see our zoom is set to 50%, so I can zoom in and I can see things up close. Santa Paula High School Digital Art Portfolio. I mean, it seems a little bit lame. So I'm just going to click in there. So I'm triple clicking. You can see now it pops up kind of like your type tool, like you would have within Photoshop or Illustrator. And I don't really like the serif typeface there, so I'm going to go more towards like a sans serif type, just to give it more of like a contemporary look to it. Sure, that looks great. Let's try that. I feel like this language is a bit verbose, so I don't know. I might want to simplify that. But the first thing I can do here is like you can see if I click on the actual image, we can then hit change image. So if I go change image, it's now going to prompt me to import. And so I can hit choose image or select a file. So I'm going to upload media right here. And upload from computer. And you can see within my pictures on my desktop, I've already saved out 10 different images. And so I'm going to select all of those by holding shift and clicking across all 10. And I want to set that to a limit. See if you can actually upload at least 10 different images that you've created this year. And I'll hit open. It takes a while to upload these. Some are bigger than others. To make it easy, I just did screen captures. So shift window S, and then I can click and drag across the screen to get these images uploaded or quickly sampled. So I'll keep waiting for this to get all my images in there. Then I can choose an image. So for my like landing image, maybe I'll select the ISO cityscape one because that's kind of cool, and I'll hit choose image. You'll see it now like actually updates. So now the web, the landing page is like just filled with this first image here. Now if I click it, you can also see like I can scale the image. I'm not entirely sure, but I would see about cropping the image. So let's see if we can like modify the crop. So can we actually extend this out? That looks a little better. So I'm gonna pull the crop out further, just so that this image is able to like bleed in to the entire portfolio. I'm gonna hit apply. That looks cool. Let me zoom out a little bit, kind of inspect it here. That's kind of fun. I'll zoom in a little bit more. Then I'm going to look at one more thing. So I'm going to go into like my pages here. So I'm going to hit, let's see here, pages and menu. I'm going to click on that. It's going to bring open a little sidebar here. And I'm going to choose like what images I want to actually keep here. So manufacturing, don't know what that's about. You can click on these and like retitle them. So I'm going to call this like, we can call this Adobe Illustrator. So Illustrator We can maybe make the next one Photoshop. Chill pill, I'm just going to take this and hit delete, so I only want to have a few pages in here. Absolute value, I'm going to take this one and delete. See you later. So I have my home page, I've got Illustrator, Photoshop, my bio, and then a portfolio. The portfolio is kind of an interesting one in that you can just upload all of your images in there. So let's go ahead and click on this one and see if we can modify it. So let's hit Manage Projects. In this case, we're going to go, I don't know, we'll just call it Illustrative Series. Sure. Next. Upload from computer. I'm just going to select all these again. We'll create this as an actual project. The nice thing about projects is if you have a bunch of work, you can actually like join them all together and then turn them into a cohesive thing. So I'll hit Generate Project. Let the actual application do the work for you. I'm going to leave this project very open. So the limits that I want to do is like see if you can actually post 10 different images to your site and have at least 3 different pages. So home page, or actually 4 different pages. Home page, maybe 2 sections of your work, and then a bio. Anything about this portfolio with AI is that it actually goes through and it starts to actually write words about these, which is kind of interesting. I'm just going to hit Create Portfolio just so we can actually get this thing going here. All right. Then I'm going to go back to my site. So let's see. I'm just going to close this. You'll notice now that my portfolio page has those images loaded into it. So it kind of creates this kind of fun, quick grid of just like all those images. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That looks pretty cool. Manage menu. You notice like when you click on something, it'll actually like lead you to modifying it. So if I go to my Illustrator page, I can come in here and I can select and replace these images. I can change my type. If I go to the Photoshop page, I can do the same thing. And if I go to my bio page, again, I can do the same thing. I'm going to stop right here. So going back to the home page, just so we can say like this is our basic introduction to creating a website. Last thing I might do is just, I'll call this Mr. Falk Digital Portfolio. Maybe I'll just call it Falk. See if I can get all that stuff on one line. I'm going to change this to a different font. Let's see if I can get that all to trend. Drag this out. It's interesting, it doesn't want to change at all. How about we just call it Falk Portfolio. I'm going to change this name just so it looks kind of, I don't know, better. Digital. There we go. So I've got Falk Digital, Santa Paula High School Digital Art Portfolio. I've got a few different pages here. The last thing that we can do is like in the top, we can hit save. You can see it's actually creating its own domain for you. So get a free WIX domain, save and continue. now that's actually like potential to be up on the web. So when you publish following will be your domain. So this is the actual website. You could send that to somebody and people will actually see it. I'll hit done. I can hit preview. When you go into preview mode, you can actually like see what it looks like when somebody actually lands on the page. So I got Falk Digital, Santa Paula High School. You can see the actual copyright. I've got Facebook, Instagram, Vimeo. I've got the Illustrator page. Again, I would go through here and change all these images. I've got my Photoshop page. I'll go through here and change all these images. I got my bio page. This is where I could write about myself, my experiences. And then I've got my portfolio. So with the portfolio, these become these interactive little collections. So if I click on one, it's going to launch a little like side piece. There's going to be some like written stuff about it, which is kind of a neat way to share your work and generate content quickly. So if I click Falk Digital, that goes back to my home page. And then if I like it, when I'm previewing it, I can just hit publish. And now this thing is, it's actually live. So if I hit view site, this goes to the actual website. Like you guys could check this site out right now and you'd see it. It's up on the internet. It's up there for free. And I can continue to open it up in my editor. If I go back, I'm going to hit cancel here. So I can always go back to the editor or sign back into Wix. And when I do that, that gets me back into the web-based app and I can continue to kind of like dink with it. Typically when I design websites on Wix, I kind of lay them out real quick. I check them online. And then I kind of go back and forth between modifying it and then previewing it and publishing it, and then also checking it on multiple devices. So like, what does it look like on my phone? How does it look on my friend's computer? How does it look on an Apple? How does it look on a PC? Just to see if it's kind of like portraying itself well on all platforms in all cases. So this is where we're going to stop. The huge thing that I'm going to invite with this assignment is just play. So minimum limit is get 10 images of your work up on the internet. See if you can create at least like 4 pages. So a main page, maybe break it up into Illustrator, Photoshop, your bio, and a portfolio, and then publish it. To satisfy this assignment, what I want you to do is when you actually turn in the assignment, you can take a screen capture of the web page and then post your actual URL. So when you go to the actual site, just copy that site URL at the top, and then you can paste it into a private comment on the Google assignment. All right, that's where we're going to stop. Take care, guys.